Peace, HHDG. You're on another episode of HHDG Media, the podcast. And before we go into it, my apologies, I had some technical difficulties, so I had to go and check everything with the laptop that I carry around everywhere with me, get everything proper before we have our guest on for tonight. So once again, shout out to everyone that, patient enough to wait and that's tuning in right now through our YouTube channel, as well as our Facebook group, HHDG, which stands for Hip Hop Discussion Group. As always, you can go to our website, as you can see on the bottom banner, hhdgmedia.com. That's where we have music, events, our merch, as well as our previous interviews. As always, this is made possible through our company, HHDG Media, Inc., which consists of Rock Vader KB, myself, Wiki, the Mayor, T. Smith, and Skelly Top. For tonight, we have an established veteran in hip hop. Culture to the core is what I think of when I think of this lyricist, and I've seen him for quite some time throughout the years. I think is over 2 decades now, because I know definitely in the 90s I recognized him with a crew. Some of y'all definitely know what that crew was, Stronghold. And just between rocking mics, having that quick witty delivery at shows is a staple of the person that we're gonna speak on and speak with tonight. He's got a catalog that y'all definitely need to go check out. I enjoy that he's always bringing a positive aspect to the music and making it feel not just a feel good, but what he's rhyming about is pretty much everything what's going on, and he's always done that. But just because it's positive doesn't have to be some sing-song type of trash. And he establishes that, very well in his delivery, the content, the just the song structures, and the overall ability to be an MC, something I'm not capable of. And he displays it very well. His latest album, Still Relevant, dropped on February 29th with producer SI's Finest from my home borough, Staten Island. And if you haven't heard it, you definitely need to go check it out. Got some dope visuals as well with that. We'll talk about those and possibly show a few of them. And along with his dope catalog and career that he's established, he also has a nice little live series going on Fridays that y'all need to go check out. And we're going to talk about that as well. The Cool Table concert series. And also we're going to talk a little bit about, the importance of mental health. And also keeping those that are dear to you close. So without further ado, repping Brooklyn, I'd like to introduce Lifelong. Peace.
Yo, what's good, yo? That intro, I'm in the back building with Ned Schimmelpenny, and I'm like, yo, this brother, he got it on point. Like, you know what I'm saying? Thank you so much. That was a beautiful intro, man. Thank you, bro. Thank you.
I appreciate that.
Sometimes we kind of forget about what we do, and just some of the things that we do. And you know what I'm saying? When we hear other people speak on it, it's like, yo, man, it's enlightening, and you're like, wow, I did all of this. This is me he's talking about.
That's dope, man. Yeah, I think that's one of a beautiful thing is when someone else's skills and what you do might be a routine, and you know that you're good at it, but when you hear it spoken from someone else's mind, from someone else's heart, it
Right.
hits you in a different way. It's like, oh, okay, I appreciate that. So much respect.
Much respect to you, brother. Thank you, man. Peace to everybody out there in the check-in. You know what I'm saying? Yo, thank you so much for having you on on your platform as well, man. You know what I'm saying? Thank you so much, brother.
It's been in the making. Definitely was something I was looking forward to. Just trying to make it, the right time. So here we are.
Right, exactly. We here, brother. And thank you too, man, for the support. You know what I mean? Just for I've seen you at many events and definitely at the event that I do. I know we're gonna talk about that, but you know what I'm saying? I appreciate everything that you do for the culture, man. Because a lot of people, you know what I'm saying, kind of support from I feel like the sidelines, which is dope because any support is dope. But when you're actually on the forefront and people could see the face and you're out there telling people that you appreciate the music, we as artists really appreciate that. So, you know what I mean? Respect to you, brother. Thank you.
Definitely, definitely. I feel that that's the other aspect of listening to the music is having to be around at a performance, and not
Mm,
just any performance, but
right,
that whole hip hop atmosphere. Because not every hip hop show has that type of atmosphere where you can speak with the artist and you know really enjoy it and see them perform, whether it might be your first time and
right,
you're amazed because it feels just like you listening to that song.
right. That's true. That is true.
So with that being said, like you said you see me at shows, but I mean I've seen you perform with Stronghold back in the days, often.
Wow.
And
It's crazy when I hear people say stronghold, I know that you was like, you know what I'm saying, a part of this, you were here. Because, I feel like it's just been so many changing of the guard, so much stuff that's happened.
mhm.
So for the people that know, salute to you, brother. Salute, man.
So as a person who is experienced not just in the MCing but also on the stage, coming up, were you that type of person that would like to be up in the front and perform and
Oh yeah.
showcase?
Oh yeah. I had a dream from when I was young. You know what I'm saying? I always, you know what I'm saying? My parents had me in the church young. So I was always like active, doing stuff, doing little plays and just stuff like that. So I always had this like, you know what I mean, a dream of just doing stuff in front of people. So when I got into the hip hop culture, you know what I'm saying, early in the 80s, it was just like, I feel like it was just like easy. It was just something kind of added on to something I was already doing. You know what I'm saying? I was already kind of like, you know what I mean, out there doing, like I said, the plays and just speaking to people. So when I started, picking up the hip hop, it was just like kind of natural almost. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like it was kind of almost natural. You know what I mean? I've always kind of wanted to be like an actor or something like that. So I feel like hip hop kind of gave me that, you know what I'm saying, that voice and that edge to kind of do the things that, you know what I'm saying, I wanted to do and to kind of like be outspoken and,
Right,
so I
right.
always feel like kind of had it in me, you know what I'm saying?
Nice, nice. I mean, everyone has their form of expression, and I think you explained it right there. And being that you're an MC,
Right,
it comes with performing in front of people.
right. So it was like, it just was always natural. Like I'm a people person. Even as a young kid, I was always the kid in the playground trying to make friends with somebody or, you know what I'm saying? Just like that. So I feel like, um, when I got into the culture, shout out to my sister who like I have an older sister, but she was the one that put me on to hip hop music because she had the box and the radio. So her room was like right across from my room. So I would be hearing like what she was listening to and stuff like that. I mean, me and her shared a room too for a little while when we was mad young, you know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
But when we got older and we had our own rooms and we were getting our own identity, she was like my OG that put me on to the hip hop. So it was like, you know what I'm saying? When I started listening to that and listening to the hip hop and watching Video Music Box, I just got like addicted. And it's just been an addiction where I'm still doing it now. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like I've always been that hip hop kid. I've always been watching the walls as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Watching what the graffiti artists used to do on the handball courts. And I grew up in this in New York, you know, and if you're from New York, if you're from, you know, like I feel like the 70s and 80s, this is something that you naturally like just picked up doing. It's like you know, some people picked up sports, other
Yeah.
people picked up hip hop. You know what I mean?
Did you play? You played handball growing up?
Now, I'm not nice in it, but you know what I'm saying? You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
I'm a Texas baby, so I played all sports, man. All
yeah.
sports. We
That's
was
dope.
inside, we was outside, and in the 80s, we was outside
Always
everywhere.
outside. Yep.
Yeah.
I will say this though, handball is probably one of the best full body workouts you can ever get.
Oh yeah. Definitely, definitely. Eye coordination, hand coordination,
Everything.
um,
Yep.
feet, everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm
Yep.
not nice at it. I could probably hit the ball against the wall or something like that, but a one-on-one game with some of these cats, nah. But I was a watcher though when the graffiti artists used to make those handball courts in the schools look crazy, man. Like especially like coming up in Queens. I'm originally from Queens, but like basically I'm Queens, Brooklyn, the BQE.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
living in Queens, I feel like even before I started rhyming, graffiti played a really big, you know what I'm saying, just part as far as me learning about the culture because it was like that was the first kind of thing that I was seeing, you know what I'm saying, on the streets was the art and stuff like that. And
yeah.
then when my sister was playing the music, you know what I'm saying, that's how I connected just everything, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I just feel like this hip hop was always just a part of me and around me, just me being an individual from New York.
Yeah, that's fire. I've always been a fan of graffiti artists. And I said this to JS1 recently. Shout out to him. He's got the reissue of it, the album through Fat Beats right now. I was saying what I always appreciate about graffiti artists is the ability to be creative with their tags in so many ways,
So many ways, so many
and and
ways.
and, and then also using their environment to be creative with it too.
Exactly. And you know what era I'm also from too? That kind of inspired me into the whole hip hop culture too. I'm from the Shirt Kings era. And being that I grew up in Queens, Shirt
Okay.
Kings was in the Coliseum Mall on Jamaica Avenue. So I was a shorty, you know what I'm saying, seeing that. I would be seeing like the drug dealers, you know what I'm saying, taking their photos in front of the like, you know what I'm saying, the artwork and
Yep.
buying the shirts with the truck jewels. And I would
That's
see
man.
sometimes you know what I mean, at Shirt King. So I feel like being a part of like, you know what I'm saying, growing up in New York and living in Queens, you know what I'm saying, as an adolescent, those two kind of like was my hand in hand. I think that really like engulfed me into my journey as being an MC. Seriously, I feel like if I don't know if I still would have been doing it if I was living somewhere else. Maybe I would have been, you know what I'm saying, because of the era was so strong. But I feel like the fact that I was in New York and in Queens during that time, and the fact that we had so many different Queens MCs too. Like, remember, we had Kid and Play, we had Salt and Pepper. That was a whole movement in itself, like Queens, Kwame, you know what I'm
Yep.
saying? It was just mad MCs from Queens, bro. Run DMC, you know?
What a time to be alive, man.
Oh man, seriously. No disrespect to any of the other generations, but Man, my 70s and 80s babies, yo. Y'all know it's different. It was different.
Yep. Being that, I love to hear stories like that and see how so many people have been, right there at the root of it, and then just be inspired. Um, when did you really start taking up MCing?
Um, 85. 85. Like I said, like this, everything that I just said pretty much um, inspired me to just get into it. I remember the first time that I heard just like hip hop on the radio. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm talking about early stuff like, Cold Crush Brothers,
Hmm.
Sugar Hill type vibe. That just inspired me. And then I remember, rest in peace to my father, he took me to Harlem, Adam Clayton Powell Boulevard in Harlem. And WBLS had their van out there, and they were promoting and giving out like free records. And I remember getting a Sugar Hill Gang record. I don't remember exactly what song it was, but I got some other independent like R&B record. It was like some dude that was like kind of like playing off of Michael Jackson. You know what I'm saying? It was. I got those two records, and that right there was just like it was like me getting gold that day. You know what I'm saying? And I went home and I put it on my pop's turntable. And he's like, "Oh, don't mess my turntable up." So I would have to play the records when he went home, play
Yep.
five. And then once I saw a video music box, early '80s, and then seeing the DJs, like everybody wanted to be first. Everybody wanted to be a breakdancer first,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then I feel like once you saw a video music box, it was like you wanted to be a DJ. You know what I'm saying? But then it was just something about those MCs. And then the MC that really, really, I feel like inspired and sparked me was Dana Dane. Because the fact that I knew that wasn't his voice, and I knew he was different from what Slick Rick was doing,
Hmm.
but he had his own style. He had his, and the way he was telling stories, I was like, that was something I wanted to do. So I feel like it was just early, like '85, like was probably like the first time that I actually wrote like a rhyme. You know what I'm saying? I remember like the kids in my elementary school, they were, what I'm saying, kicking rhymes and stuff like that. And there was this one kid that actually used to write rhymes and he was nice. And I was like, yo, I could do this. You know what I'm saying? And I never stopped from that. That's like more mid '80s type vibe. I'm telling, I'm giving too much information out there. Too much info. And he's like, yo, this old ass dinosaur. But you know what though? It's 50 years of hip hop, so everything is relevant and everything is still relevant, right?
Yep, absolutely. And what content did your rhymes contain back then?
um, Back then, I feel like it was like a lot of braggadocio type rhymes. Um, yeah, it was like a lot of braggadocio kind of vibe.
Hmm.
Just me trying to figure it out. You know, I would just write, and I would just try to write like the artists that I would see. Yeah, definitely, my pen game was not nice, like a KRS or a Rakim, but I would definitely try to like mimic their kind of styles and vibes
Hmm.
until I feel like then the '90s came, and then it was like that was when I was really I feel like when I was in high school and I was really trying to take it seriously, and
Yeah.
that was when I kind of like started I would say started to get my own identity. And then in 92, 93 was when I really, really was like, this is what I want to do. And started like really, really taking it seriously. You know what I'm saying? And then by 95 was when I was really, really like putting out music and appearing on stuff, doing shows and running around with the whole crew. You know what I mean? Word. been a journey. 85 was the beginning. Long ass journey. Wow. It's like, yo. Sometimes I feel like I'm like, damn, why am I even still doing this? But you can see that it's not for a monetary reason or for a fame reason. I gotta have a love for doing this. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm in the lab right now. You know what I'm saying? Because it's this love of still doing this. I still have something to say. I feel like I'm always gonna have something to say. You know?
And I feel that that is the importance of any musician. You still got to have that love for it, for what you what you're giving to the listeners that they can really enjoy. Because if you get to the point where it's more money and business wise, is it really organic the way you wanted it to be?
It's not, and then you have to look at it on a level too, where this is art at the end of the day too.
Hmm.
So it's like, you know what I'm saying? What kind of art are we trying to like put forward too? You know, what kind of art are we really trying to put forward? Because
Right.
are you trying to put up a regular painting that's generic and that anybody could do, or that it's just some regular type of thing? Are you trying to put something that's going to be, you know what I'm saying, everlasting, that's going to always be able to, you know what I'm saying, stay in someone's mind? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's why I always have to, you know what I'm saying, pay homage. And I always say that graph is the first element of hip hop because we had to see something to write. You know what I'm saying? And these graph artists, you know what I mean, they showed us something. Like the visuals was something that made, you know what I'm saying, these MCs, I feel like, want to write. You know what I'm saying?
definitely, definitely. And it's music and business, but at the end of the day, you
It
enjoy
is.
it. It's a skill. You experienced at it. So just like any other job out there, you still need to get paid.
You still need to get paid, but you can't look at it as just a money aspect. Like money's gonna come with everything that you do.
Hmm.
But once you try to mix the money with the art, it's not gonna come out, you know what I'm saying, authentic. It's always gonna come out, you know what I'm saying, like you're just trying to get money. You know what I mean? You're gonna know what someone's gonna just try to get something off of, or you're gonna know if it's coming straight from the heart and if it's pure. You know what I'm saying? And that's just like art and just kind of music that I'm trying to do. Like my name is Life. So I can't, you know what I'm saying? I can't, I gotta come with life. I gotta come with something that is going to be, you know what I'm saying, just relatable to everyone. You know what I'm saying? Even though it might not be a type of music, or I might not be saying the things that the mainstream is saying, I feel like I still have things that are still relatable to just life in general. And that's what I kind of touch on in my music and just what I do. It's just life. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Now, being that we were talking about video music box, I still remember coming home after school, cartoons and video music box.
G.I. Joe, G.I. Joe or Transformers or He-Man or whatever you watch it was the lineup. And then by 4 o'clock, video music box was on. And that was like, dude, that was at least a whole 10, 12 year stretch. I mean, you know, it still comes on now, you know what I'm saying, on the public access networks and stuff like that. But that reign was like, you know what I'm saying, for a minute, yo.
Yeah,
Seriously. Shout out to Ralph McDaniels, man.
yeah, absolutely.
He doesn't
Yeah.
know what he like. The people don't really know what he really did. And as far as even for like a coast level, international level, he sparked that, man. He sparked that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, what everybody's doing now with this whole video and everything.
Hmm.
Ralph was the one that had the vision for that.
Yeah, definitely a pioneer with that. And the amazing part is how much he did behind the scenes in media alone.
Media and a lot of videos that he directed that I didn't even know,
Exactly.
bro.
Yeah.
Didn't even know.
Yeah. Didn't find out till later on.
Yeah, I did not even know it. You know, and he's a dope DJ too. He's a really dope DJ. You know what I'm saying? He used to spin at, I don't know if you remember that old club Planet 28 that used to be in Manhattan. He used
It
to
sounds
do,
familiar, but yeah, I don't remember.
he used to do, he used to scratch up videos, you know what I'm saying, live at that spot. So kind of like what, I don't know if you're familiar with what Cut Supreme does with Boom Bap Video Attack. And I
Yep.
tell Cut Supreme this all the time. I'm like,
Yep.
I love what you're doing. But I remember Ralph used to do this in the club. You
That's
know what I'm
dope.
saying?
I see
Shout out
Rep
to
Magic do that too.
Shout out to Cut Supreme too, man.
Yeah, man. Mm.
But yeah, man, I feel like with Ralph McDaniels, what he did for the culture, for I feel like just in New York alone, that sparked a lot of people's minds of even wanting to do hip hop and just like even what we're doing right now, man. I feel like you know what I'm saying. Ralph was kind of like the inspiration of a lot of this, man.
Yeah,
We were able to see it, you know what I'm saying? Because a lot of things in the beginning we just could hear it.
that's it.
Ralph showed it to us, you know what I'm saying? And once we could see it, it was a wrap,
Yep.
you know?
And this is why I consider the visuals to be another element of hip hop.
Always, always.
Videos, photography,
Artwork,
yeah, artwork. Yep.
yep. It's a renaissance right now. It's a renaissance going back to, I feel like everything that has to do with art. You know what I'm saying? Poetry, which is the rhyme. You know what I'm saying? Music, which is production, sampling. Then you got fashion, you know what I'm saying, which is always incorporated with everything. You know what I'm saying? It always becomes a renaissance within each year. Like every decade there's a different kind of renaissance. And right now, I kind of see it going back into, you know what I'm saying, a renaissance of the art. You know what I mean? What do you see that kind of,
I do, definitely.
you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
And big shout out to you because I spoke about this with when I interviewed Tara Van Poo and the importance of instead of spewing out negativity about social media is trash or I don't use this certain platform, use the platform to your advantage. And you do this all the time with your latest project. And
Thank you, brother.
salute to you on that because that's the way you got to market it. You got to, if it's out there and it's free like that, take advantage of it. Give the people the visuals. Let them know that you got a physical product. Let them know you got videos out.
Every day, a lot of people feel like when they drop a project or they drop music that, all right, I'm gonna just promote it for a week, or I may have a machine that might do something for it, you know what I'm saying? And then after like say 6 months or 3, 4 months, you're like trying to move on. And I feel like that's the problem with the music
Mhm.
and with the generation and with just the vibe today, is because everybody's quick to move on. Nobody wants to kind of put the same energy just into what they have. Back in the days when we used to listen to music and buy music, we would support that album for a year, maybe 2, 3 years until the artist dropped another project. So I kind of like use my projects and I do the same thing, you know what I'm saying, when it comes to social media. I'm not going to stop promoting. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to give you my music every day. Even if I'm just putting up a picture of myself, I'm going to put a song behind it. You know what I'm saying? Or just something like it has to be done, bro. And as an artist, you have to find ways to promote yourself because once your music or once your video is out, that's it. That's it. What else you can do? You know, if you
Mhm.
don't promote it every day or if you don't push it, if you're not pushing yourself, then your music is not going to go anywhere at the end of the day. You know what I mean? Like there's one thing if you have a machine behind you, but I feel like you're your biggest machine. You are the machine at the end of the day.
That's it. Yep. Mm. Speaking of early music, let's go a little bit into some of your early official tracks.
Okay.
Actually,
Where we going? Where we
let,
going
let,
with
let,
it? Southern
let's
Red
start with let's start with a early guest feature. Um,
Okay.
what am I?
Wow.
With also Pharaoh Monch, and
Wow, bro. That right there was a dream come true.
yeah,
Dream come true. First of all, my favorite all-time group ever is Organized Confusion. You know what I'm saying? And I grew up in Queens, and then I kind of like I knew them. You know what I'm saying? While they were signed and all of that. So just like watching them come up and everything like that, and then being able to do music and be on a track with Pharaoh was crazy. You know what I'm saying? But all that whole thing happened because of Earl Blaze, the producer of the Anti-Pop Consortium. Shout out to him.
yep,
Earl Blaze actually was one of my early engineers. So my
nice.
crew, DMO, Apani, shout out to her, Mike One,
Hmm.
let's say Hostile. We used to always record at Earl Blaze's studio, you know what I'm saying, in the early 90s, just cutting demos. So I would hear High Priest, I would hear Beans, I would hear M. Saeed as solo artists. So but this is before Anti-Pop Consortium.
Got you.
So now fast forward to 98, 99 when they were working on the record, being that I was already coming to the studio and Earl Blaze knew me, when he thought of certain people that he wanted on that record, it
Hmm.
was like one of those people that he thought of. And that right there, like, you know what I'm saying, helped kind of change my life as far as my start in this, you know, because, you know, sometimes it's all on who you know and you know what I'm saying, what brand you're a part of.
Yeah,
So being on that Anti-Pop Consortium song, it helped open a lot of doors for the kid. And I was on a track with Farrell Mott, so it was just
yeah.
like that was a crazy time, yeah. I remember right now as you're asking me about that song, I remember that same. I remember the studio session when I recorded. I
That's
remember.
great memory right there.
It was. I feel like it was a spiral effect right after the Anti-Pop Consortium joint too. You know what I mean? Because right after the Anti-Pop Consortium joint, I think like I think maybe like probably like maybe a couple of weeks after, you know what I'm saying, I got the call from Vass and he was like, yo, you know what I'm saying, we working on the Can Ox joint. Let's do this.
Ah,
You know what I'm saying? So that was like it was around the whole same time because during the Cannibal Ox first Cold Vein, the recording of that whole album,
hmm,
when he was in at LP's crib, I used to go over to Vass's crib just to chill and just to smoke with him and Vortal and just chill with them. So that whole it's just funny how you asked me about that track. Like that during that time was like pretty much the spawn of a lot of things that happened. You know what I'm saying? A lot of doors and a lot of collabos and features and things that just opened up and happened during that time, man.
that's great.
Collabo like happened. It sparked a lot.
Now, one more blast for the past that's a favorite of mine is your track Life, L.I.F.E.
Wow, wow. That right there was coming up off of me putting out my first mixtape. If the true fans know, Cuts and Collabos Part One. That was basically at that time. I felt like a lot of people were sleeping on the kid, and I was trying to get a single. I was trying to get a deal.
Hmm.
I put Cuts and Collabos Part One, which was basically a mixtape that featured all of the songs and appearances that I was on. So after Cuts and Collabos Part One, after I was selling that on the streets and selling it for the fat beats and making my rounds with that CD, I had to put something else out. I had to now show you what I had. So that track L.I.F.E was on my first album ever, Struggling, my first EP, Struggler's Paradise.
Mhm.
So that song, produced by my brother Stilo, it was just basically, I felt like it was the first song that where I wasn't just kind of like doing a braggadocio rap or just trying to spit or just trying to tell people how dope I was. I wanted to kind of like spit a message and kind of let people know about me and about what I was going through. So I feel like that song was like the first kind of song, like you know what I'm saying,
Mhm.
like where I was just kind of like you know what I'm saying, like letting people really know, just being personal, like you know what I mean. Word.
And speaking that you brought up, "Struggler's Paradise," another favorite track off that project, if I remember, "Facts of Life."
Facts of life. Facts of life. Actually, you know what? I completely messed up. L.I.F.E. Actually, my bad. I was actually talking about the Facts of Life track.
Oh, okay,
Facts of
okay.
Life that I was talking about. L.I.F.E. was actually produced by my dude Havoc. You know what I'm saying? Hectic, not Havoc, Hectic. L.I.F.E. was produced on Hectic, and that was that had Mr. Sinister on the cuts.
That's right. Yep.
So that L.I.F.E. was a single that was off of Struggler's Paradise. So my bad, I kind of mixed that up. You know what I'm saying? Because dude, we going like 20, we going 24 years
So
ago. You
good.
know that.
So good. Yeah, yeah.
So L.I.F.E. was that's a whole nother track. The track I was referring to earlier, that's the Fact of Life track. But L.I.F.E. was also a song off of Struggler's Paradise, and it featured Mr. Sinister on the cuts.
Mhm.
And that was just a fun track, man. Shout out to that producer, Hectic. I felt like I got like a primo track. I got like a Pete Rock. Like Hectic was one of those producers at the time that was making some dope beats, and he gave me that beat. So I feel like that was one of those beats. And the fact that I had Mr. Sinister on the cuts too. At the
Yeah.
time, you know, Executioners was mad strong at that time too. Like they still strong, but you know what I mean, that was early Executioners. So
Mhm.
yeah, man. That was I feel like that was a big tone for the kid.
Dope, dope. Yeah. Shout out to Mr. Sinister. I'll be interviewing him as well very soon.
That's the homie, yo. That's the homie. Yeah, I got him on my upcoming record too.
Nice.
Like,
Dope.
I'm
Now,
working, man. Like I said, I'm working. I'm
I was
working.
gonna say, yeah. I was gonna say, I just saw you in person about, what was it, just over 2 weeks ago at the Farrell Monch Internal Affairs
You know I had to
anniversary
be
concert.
one of my favorite albums, bro. And one of my favorite artists. I just told y'all, like, the fact that I got a track with him, I still scratch my head sometimes. But I mean, like I said, that's fam. I know them. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my brother Prince Poe, who I've done, you know what I'm saying, a bunch of music with too as well. But you know, I had to be at that show, man.
Yeah,
I'm the Memphis Night brother for hip hop.
yeah, yep. Yeah, I was trying to dig into my parents' attic for some of my older stuff, but I didn't get a chance to get over there, get in, and because I would have definitely brought my vinyl, but I got the chance, and I went over there. So that's Fat Beat sound picking this up.
Nice, nice. You should have went to the after party. The
I
after party was dope. It was at the Old Baby Jupiter, and it
Yeah,
was like it was so dope. Where it was crowded and packed, but
yeah, I'm sure it
Farrell
was.
was just sitting there chilling. So, and he was taking pictures with everybody. So you could
Yeah,
have definitely got final sign there. Definitely, it was a really cool vibe at the after party. It wasn't
yeah,
no like you know what I mean. You know how you go to some after parties and you know it's like I can't even get near the artist, or it
mhm,
wasn't a vibe like that. Everybody was just chilling like right there.
yeah, yeah, yep. So I dug that out, and then I dug out the 12-inch Simon Says joint.
Nice, nice. My favorite artist. My favorite artist, man. I'm telling you, like Organized Confusion, they inspired me on so many levels. On so many levels. Like I remember, like early in my career, like going back to, you know what I'm saying, the Extinction Agenda, just to like, yo, am I doing this right? Or yo, let me like that was always like those first three Organized Confusion albums were always like catalog, just like reference volumes that I had to like, study before I could even write around. Word.
That's great hearing that, because everyone has specific artists or project that is almost like a Bible to them.
I got a
And
couple. That's why I can't do that's why I can't do the top fives or the top
uh,
tens, because it's like I love this culture so much, and I feel like it always has a changing of the guard, and there's always somebody that's going to be so special that's going to stand out. So it's like, so how can you narrow it down to just 10 of those or 5 of those? There's so many dope MCs that even the one hit wonders, you know.
and my thing about that is hip hop continues to grow, so you never know who that next talented person might be. You may have come up in the '80s and
Lamar,
it was dope artists back then, but
right? You think we know we would have had a Kendrick Lamar like you know what I'm saying
exactly,
20 years ago? We would have we you know what I'm saying, we thought that whoever was the best at that time, you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? So like, yeah, it's always going to change, and there's always going to be somebody that's in the trenches that's watching what's going on and getting inspired. And that's the thing that I feel like is being lost in the game in today's culture. We forget and we stop to give the flowers to who, you know what I'm saying, inspired us. You know what I'm saying? Because you're always going to be inspired by somebody to do what you're doing,
yeah,
you know?
yeah, yeah. That's I mean, with as much music as I listen to, I don't segregate it. I enjoy the older stuff, the older artists, the younger artists as well. Same way. And when I discover someone that's new, I still get that same feeling as if I was that young kid listening to hip hop.
Always. Me and Ned Finney was just building. He went to the Lord Skull concert last night.
Oh, okay,
And
nice.
he's saying he's from our era, but he was like, yo, man, he said it was really inspiring and just dope to see like, yo, this whole new generation, this whole new cats that were like at this show. And then he was like, yo, the fact that this show was packed, and then Homeboy Sandman had a show right down the block that was
That's
also
right.
packed. He was like,
Yep.
yo,
The
he's
album
like,
release. Yeah,
it's thriving. You can't say hip hop is not thriving right now, you know?
definitely.
A lot going on for the culture.
Always. Yep. Now with your catalog, like spans, like you said, decades. Um, got the longevity projects out there. We mentioned Struggler's Paradise, um, Bat Out the Cave. What
The
else is out
waiting
there?
game,
Still Waiting. Yep.
the waiting game, still waiting, man, a lot of projects, man.
Yeah.
A lot of projects, man. A lot of projects. Just,
Now with that,
no, what were you saying? I'm sorry.
I was gonna talk about with the projects that you continuously put out. How does it feel knowing that a person like me that's known you for quite some time is still enjoying what you're putting out, and what keeps you to put out that music and it not be the same type of album each release?
Inspiration, what the game is doing now, the fact that I'm a true hip hop fan. Um, I feel like a lot of artists sometimes get in a bag and they're like, I don't even listen to hip hop, and I'm not one of those MCs. You know what I'm saying? I listen to everything that's going on. I'm sharp with new releases, with new artists, with everything going on. So I feel like that's what keeps me grounded and keeps me inspired and even wanting to like do new music and do things that are different than the last project that I did because hip hop is thriving so much. That right there is just my inspiration. You know what I'm saying? I just love what's going on, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm an underground kid. I'm an underground baby. So it's just like the underground is so thriving with just so much music. Like if you know, you know. You know what I'm saying? So if you're an artist and you're a true hip hop head, you're gonna get inspired just off of what your comrades, just what what I mean, what the counterparts are doing. You know what I'm saying? And I just feel like that's what keeps me going, man. It's just the fact that hip hop is still thriving, and the type of music that I do, there's still kind of a lane for it. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that's what inspires me. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like I've gotten to the point now where I'm not really chasing fame. I'm not trying to be like the biggest artist. I'm just trying to create music. I just want to create. I just want to create. That's it. So I feel like that's I kind of the reason why I try to make things different than the last and I just try to stay consistent is because I'm still inspired, man. Still a fan of this. I'm still inspired.
Respect, respect. And
Thank you.
and speaking on fans, first, rest in peace. Who was your mom your biggest fan?
Um my mom's and my pops, rest in peace. They I had older parents. You know what I'm saying? So they didn't really understand what was going on until the end. You know what I'm saying? Like I remember the first time I went overseas and my pops had passed like the year after, but he was able to see that I went overseas and he was mad happy and he was proud of that. You know what I'm saying? My mother always just wanted me, you know what I'm saying, just to make sure I was good. You know what I'm saying? Like you make sure you have a good job, you good. Is this
Yeah.
music paying you? Both of them were always like, is it paying you? Are you getting money off of this?
Hmm.
So I think they liked it. They liked the fact that I was doing something that I like to do. But um, yeah, you know what I'm saying. So I'm not gonna say that she was my biggest supporter, but even towards her last days, she respected what I did, and she respected me for following my dreams. You know what I'm saying? And that's one thing that both of my parents you know what I'm saying, they may not have understood what I did, you know what I'm saying, but they respected me for following my dreams. And I respect them for allowing me to follow my dreams and not really, you know what I'm saying, give me too much flack about it either. You know what I mean? Because I've been doing this for a long time. So they've been seeing me doing this for a long time. And the fact that I don't have, you know what I'm saying, I'm not on a level like certain artists that are played on the radio every day or that are touring every day. But, they were happy that I was happy doing what made me happy.
You definitely gotta respect, parents that are looking at it that way.
Definitely, definitely. And they both were there for me for the whole creation of Still Relevant. They were there for me. Like, I feel like, I'm going to be honest with you, I feel like my father might have even spoke to SR's finest, Zakeem. Like, you know what I'm saying? Not even, you know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I knew who he was and I knew his music. And I was definitely like, I was in tune to what he was doing. But we
Hmm.
didn't know who each other were. You know what I'm saying? We did not know who, like we were not like really like cool like that or nothing. You know what I'm saying? This
Right.
project came out of nowhere. Like he literally like hit me up on some random vibe and was like, yo, he wanted me to do something for one of his projects. And it was like right during the time where I was going through a lot. So I feel like it was just a lot of energy. And I feel like, you know what I'm saying? My pop was a big jazz connoisseur. big jazz connoisseur. Like my love for jazz music and the reason how I even know some of these records is because of my father. And if you hear what I did with SI's Finest, it's a lot of jazz. It's a lot of, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like they even had to play, you know what I'm saying, spiritually into this somehow. You know what I'm saying? Word. Like this still relevant project was it happened because of that. You know what I mean?
Nice,
Word.
nice. Mm.
Shout out to SI's Finest, the young boy.
Yes, indeed. I mean, if we talking about it, you might as well keep going with it. So,
Phenomenal.
album right there,
Wow.
still relevant.
Wow. You got the exclusive CD too. Those are limited right there too. Limited. Limited right there. Respect.
Def- I mean, let's first talk about the artwork done by the well-known Bobito Ross.
Bobito Ross. You know what's crazy with me and Bobito Ross? So Bobito Ross is from Queens, right? And I didn't even know till later that we went to the same high school.
Wow.
I graduated like the year before him. And he's a graffiti artist. So I didn't even know. I knew certain graffiti artists in my high school that he used to know too.
Mhm.
So that's like it's crazy, bro. But Bobito Ross, that's the homie. That cover is an actual piece. So when I asked him to do the cover and I gave him ideas, I said, "Yo, man, I want you to do just like a collage if you could." And I just gave him just certain things that I felt were like, just kind of that I like and that are important to me. Just the relics that I felt were important to me. So he was like,
Right.
all right, I got it. So when he hit me back and told me what he did, he was like, yo, so I did an actual collage. I got a canvas. I did a whole piece. I cut out pieces. Now I'm going to do graffiti all over it and do a whole spray paint. So he did the actual piece. So that's an actual piece on canvas. Where he cut out magazine pieces and different pieces, and then he spray painted over the whole thing. So, and
That's fire.
then he took a picture of that, and then just added the graphics and all of that. So I actually own the actual piece that he did. I had to buy that. I was like, you know what I'm saying? I need that. I don't want nobody to have that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, Bobito Ross is just a phenomenal artist. And he did actually all the art for Still Relevant, even the single covers that I had. You know what I mean? A phenomenal artist, man. I like, you know what I'm saying? I like art. I love art. So all my projects have to have like, you know what I'm saying, just a significant cover or just something different or abstract. And when I was thinking about Still Relevant, I didn't know what I wanted, but I knew I wanted something, like a Bobito Ross kind of vibe. You know what I'm saying? So I had to get Bobito Ross in the mix of this one. Shout out to Bobito Ross, man. I think your mic went out. I can't hear you for some reason.
Oh, there it is. I was
Oh,
gonna
there you
say
go.
shout out to a very informative hip hop head. He's always in tune. NJ to AK. He said
Oh yeah,
he got a few dope pieces from Bobito.
yeah. Bobito Ross is, oh man, he's just dope, yo. Phenomenal, man. What he does with with just like the paying homage to Wu Tang, some of those pieces that he has is crazy, man. And he just has a lot of his own just styles and just stuff that he does. You know what I'm saying too.
Yes, indeed.
I
Yep.
had to get him involved, man. I had to get him involved. He did it. I felt like he did a great job, man. He did a great job. He really gave me what I envisioned.
Turned out perfect, and I'm always a fan of anything graffiti on a T-shirt or album
Right,
vinyl.
right. I got t-shirts. So if y'all need, go to BobbyTheRoss.com. Exclusive t-shirts for the album right on his website.
Yep. I just put the link up for anyone that wants to go purchase that.
Respect, respect.
Next part of the album, which we already started diving into, SI's finest production. This
Yes,
man, I mean, I feel that he's just like us. He's come up on the hip hop. He's heavily into it. He knows the music. He knows the artists. He knows the culture.
definitely. He and he's young too,
Hmm.
which is refreshing to hear. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that's so young that well, he's not that young, but you know what I'm saying. Somebody that's not from my, you know what I'm saying, era, saying, but has music that's similar to things that came from my era. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's just dope. And he's just a wizard, bro. Like I'm not gonna. I don't know if he wants me to tell his secrets of how he produces, and I don't know if the world knows. But if the world knows how he produces, they're gonna be like, oh my goodness, he's a genius. He's a genius. That's how Finest is a genius. Real talk. You know how he produces, Ian?
No, I don't.
Exactly. Talk to him. Talk to him on the low, because that's your Shaolin brother. When you find out
Uh huh.
how he produces, you're gonna be like, he did those on what? That's all I gotta tell you. That's all I gotta
Okay.
say. Yeah, he's a genius, yo. Shout out to SR's finest, man. And his catalog, I feel like, is growing. The reason why I didn't even drop the project, you know what I'm saying, too early, because he had like 4 or 5 albums out at the time. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? It was like I had to kind of wait to drop my project because he dropped something. He dropped like 2 or 3 projects a year, as well as like beat albums in between. You
Yep.
know,
Yeah, I just put up his link for his Bandcamp for those go check out his dope production as well as his projects as well. Weather
he
the
just
Storm,
he just put up a
definitely
new
need to check that.
he, and I just sort of track listed for the Four Finger Ring Part Two, Bad Seed's new album, and
Ah,
he has production on there too. SR Finest is working. He's working. And we did our album quick. We did our album quick. He sent me beats. I would say he sent me beats like I would say like it was like January of last year or something, and we already had like the album done by like April. You know what I'm saying? We recorded like like the joint that I have with Wishmaster from the
uh,
UK. That was called the Wishmaster.
yep,
That was like the last songs we recorded. It was like and it was because it was like I didn't really want that many features on the project, but my brother Wish was out here, and I was like, "Yo, I gotta get a joint with Wish." You know what I'm saying? So we literally did that joint 2 days before he left. Sorry, we did that joint 4 days before he left, and then shot the video like a day before he left. Word, crazy. I'm telling you that this still relevant project is special, man. It's special, special.
now, did as far as Wishmaster, did you know him and Motman at the around the same time?
Yo, it's crazy. So, um, Wishmaster I met through my brother Mr. Fire. I'm cool with a lot of people from Bristol. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you're familiar with Split Profits. That's a crew from the Bristol, UK. So I'm cool with my brother Rez, Paro, Mr. Fire. So Rez and Mr. Fire was out here a couple of years ago. So we was out here. I was showing them the town, and we was out here. So we just, I built a relationship with them. So anybody else that they would, you know what I'm saying, that was coming from Bristol out to New York, they would let me know. They'd be like, "Yo, I got my dude coming on, blah 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 blah." So they put me on the Wishmaster. So when Wishmaster came out, it was like we connected instantly. And it's crazy because his birthday is the day before mine. My birthday's on the 30th, his birthday's on the 29th. So it's like we connected instantly. So
Nice.
we just built a relationship. And then my man Mop Man is actually from Wishmaster's same, like he's from his same area. You know what I'm saying? So Mop Man just hit me up randomly and was like, "Yo, I see you out here with my boy Wishmaster, whatever." So I just polyed with him on the low, and he was like, "Yo, I'd like to do a track with you." So we did the joint, and then we just kept me and Mop Man just kept building online. And then Mop Man, this is something that you don't even know, but I'm letting the cat out the bag. Mop Man hit me up and was like, "Yo, we should do a project." And I was like, "A project?" And I was like, "Okay." And now we got 12 songs deep, and we're dropping a mixtape.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Next month, August 19th, we're gonna get the mixtape with me and Mop Man called Fresh Imports. You know what I'm saying? That's our group, Fresh Imports, and the mixtape is called Worldwide. You know what I mean? So, you know what I mean? So that's what happened off of these Bristol, UK connections.
That's fine. Still, you did your thing on that Plead the Fifth project with my man and Michael Parkinson.
Parkinson, man, he's a beast, too.
Yeah, he's a beast.
He's a dope producer, and he's been grinding for a minute too.
Yep.
I heard about him before I even got on the track too. You know what I'm saying? He's been putting out music for a while
I've been
now.
listening to him for a while. Yeah. I had the honor of interviewing him as well.
Nice. Oh, word! Oh, you interviewed him too?
Yeah.
That's dope. That's dope. Shout out to all my UK peoples out there too, man. You know what I mean? The whole Swiss Prophets, my brother Mop Man and me and him and working, yo. Wait till you hear the mixtape. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Shout out to everybody out there, Lewis Parker, you know what I'm saying? Billy Spliff, you know the vibe.
Yep. Dope. Being that we on a UK vibe, let's give the visuals of bloops and blunders.
Nice. Shout out to Wishmaster. Shout out to Howard Urena who did the video too.
Good. Yeah, Wish, man. What up, son? Good, fam. It's all over, man. I mean, you know it's international.
Hey yo, grind for today. You can't promise tomorrow. So many don't care. Hearts filled with sorrow. Living for a second when time's not borrowed. Question your movements on your actions during moments. Things happen with no expectation in an instant. Stay sharp cause the world moves quick. Sonic, but there's no animation or video game. Life's real. You really feel pressures of pain. Could get soaked standing out in the rain. I'm on my biz, stay in my lane. So many things got charged to the game. That's how it be, on point, never sloppy. I try to avoid those shady and wishy-washy. You could get set up, blasted, target practice, just for not sticking to the plan. Cactus, still life, my picture's painted, I'm the protagonist. Battling my arch nemesis, the antagonist. Live life to the fullest.
Go get it.
Start from the bottom, but
Top's where I'm headed.
Stand tall, 10 toes.
On the ground implanted.
Even when straight and narrow,
Things could get slanted.
gotta watch out.
For those who take advantage.
Living's a full-time job.
That most can't manage.
For most play victim,
And get pulled under.
just for the wrong moves, bloopers and blunders.
I'm a lost Asian king from Kemet. Become at one with the earth, that's how my soul replenished. Always been the one to give it, never been one that's jealous. I'm always pumping on the earth while constructing a message. Ain't worth your time, especially if it ain't progressive. Cause everything that I want in life, I manifest it. I put in work and go hard. Plan and invest it. I spend more than I made. How's that for an incentive? And every time I touch the mic, you know I represent it. The shit I got coming when it comes is an epidemic. The ones who put in work never be one to get the credit. It's about who did it right, it's not about who said it. My neighboring spells got credentials, you can check it. I'm running laps around the track like athletics. And any move I made in life, I don't regret it. Any move I made in life, I don't regret it.
Live life to the fullest.
Go get it.
Start from the bottom, but
Top's where I'm headed.
stand tall, 10 toes.
On the ground implanted.
Even when straight and narrow,
Things could get slanted.
gotta watch out.
For those who take advantage.
Living's a full-time job.
That most can't manage.
For most play victim
And get pulled under.
just for the wrong moves, bloopers and blunders.
Survival got me bugging. Survival got me bugging. I'm in with the dream. I'm in with the dream.
Ah, nice.
Blunders. Shout out to DJ L.I.F.E with the cuts on there.
First single off the that was the first single off the album, yeah.
Yep.
He in the fall cooking too. He cooking. The fall got beats. Woo.
I'm always a sucker for having dope cuts on a track.
Me too, I feel like man, I like if it was up to me, I'd have cuts on everything. You know what I'm saying? I have cuts on everything if it was up to me. Paul is like one of my favorite DJs. So if you know, for the past couple of years, you know what I'm saying? Like probably like damn near every project that I've put out in the last couple of years, you probably heard of Paul. Like, you know what I'm saying?
That's cool. Definitely loving the vibe of that track and
Thank you, man.
the jazz, like you were saying, with SI, what he was doing on here.
Like my pop, I think was like, yo, get up my son real quick. He got out of the dream and stuff. I don't know. I gotta talk to SI's partners about this. You know what I mean? Because there's a lot of jazzy joints on the album.
Yep.
It kind of like, I don't know. It kind of like his tracks that he gave me for this album.
Mm-hmm.
Very easy to write to. Like even this project that I'm working on right now with my man Ned Schimmelpenny, it's like very easy to write to. You know what I'm saying? I love when producers give me stuff that, you know, like sometimes producers, they don't know, you know what I'm saying, what to give artists necessarily. They might just say, yo, this is the hottest thing I have in my stash, so I'm gonna just give him this, yo, because I know he'll like it.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you know, like, you know what? Nah, I'm gonna give him these kind of beats, and I think that's what SI's finally did. You know what I'm saying? He gave me the perfect beats to do what I had to do with.
I agree, definitely.
Thank you.
And music is therapy, and I'm one of those people. I like to get up in the morning and listen to jazz music first thing in the morning. Being that you said you were going through a lot during this time of, you know, creating this album, jazz music, how was jazz music for you in a therapeutic way of what you were going through, and then hearing SI Finest production?
Well, jazz music always plays a big part. Just I feel like with anything that I do as far as like with hip hop, because those are the records that we normally are sampling from anyway. So like I said, just the fact that I grew up with that was like all my father would play, you know, like you know, it would just be jazz music in the house, jazz music. So it just the jazz just, you know what I'm saying, I feel like, you know what I'm saying, it's just always just a part of it. And I just feel like without jazz, even though like, you know what I'm saying, you know, there is other creations and there's other, but I feel like this jazz is the inspiration of, you know what I'm saying, hip hop. So when I heard, you know, the SI's Finest beats, and a lot of them were like kind of jazzy, and just like, you know, real soulful vibe, I just connected right away. You know what I'm saying? I just connected right away, and it just like it connected to my childhood. It connected to the music that I would listen to um, back in the days. You know what I'm saying? Some of the artists, you know what I'm saying, that would sample from some of these records and stuff. So I just feel like everything just went kind of hand in hand. You know what I mean? Just went hand in hand. Like I said, I feel like he knew exactly what to send me, and just knowing me, just like listening to like the stuff that he's done with other people, like I was really a fan, big fan of the compilation that he put out. You know what I'm saying? That had Brain Orchestra on there, and Focus the Truth, and um, these are a lot of other artists. But he had a song with Raz Fresco and Rome Street on there. Like,
Yep.
you know, the beats that he had on that project was mad jazzy too. So it was
Mm.
like I kind of was like, you know what I'm saying, a fan. So I don't know. The jazz just plays a huge part, man. It's I feel like we wouldn't even have this like this hip hop culture if we didn't have like the disco and the jazz aspect. It just went just goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
We are, I feel like, kind of like the new uh jazz musician. You know what I'm saying? Of today's era.
I feel that.
You know what I'm saying? Kind of
And
like
as
I feel like hip hop movement is kind of like similar. You know what I'm saying? The Renaissance.
yeah, and as we are talking about jazz and its, you know, how it's ingrained in hip hop, we got to talk about the crew that's on your hat. Science is a Life.
My first appearance on Wax. You know, the first crew that took me seriously and took a chance in me. You know what I'm saying? First crew. You know what I mean? When I met them in '93, and you know what I'm saying, been cool ever since. And when they got their shot and they chant, and they was like, you know what, we're gonna put certain people on our record, and
Mm-hmm.
we want people on there. They remembered me and was like, yo, we're gonna give life that shot. So it's like I always, any interview I do, anything, I always shout out Science of Life. Always. You know what I'm saying? Big up John Robinson, big up ID4 Wins. Rest in peace, my brother Ross Son, the Willoughby.
Yes, indeed.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, those brothers were the first to give me my first start. My first appearance on Wax was them. 1999, you know what I'm saying? The first album, Coming Forth by Day, put out on Sub. You know, the same label that Emma Doom put out the Doomsday record on.
Yep.
Yeah, man. These are the homies right here. This is actually, I don't know if y'all can see this, but this is actually John Robinson's T-shirt too. Like, you know, he puts out his own like little clothing line and joint. You know what I mean? So, you know, we got the creative entrepreneur right there. You know?
Yes. Salute. JR be doing this thing. That's another person that he's a fan. You know, I've seen him at so many shows just in the crowd.
He's a fan, and
Yep.
he's another brother like me that gets inspired off of the culture and just like of the movement. You know what I'm saying? Me and him we cut from the same cloth. We from the same era. You know what I mean? So it's like we cut from that same cloth. So like anybody you hear from my era, I mean, you know what I mean, JR, Shabam Sadiq, AO Skills,
Yep.
Wordsworth, Hayes, Mozzie, the Juggernauts, Cannibal Ox, like anybody from that era, if they're still doing music, you're gonna hear that the music is still kind of reminiscent to, like, you know what I'm saying, that sound or what, you know what I'm saying. We might have elevated a little bit with our topics and maybe different sounding beats, but you know what I'm saying, we still trying to bring you that authentic vibe, you know what I'm saying?
Always. Yep.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm working on right now. I'm working on a new authentic record. Wait till y'all hear what I'm working on with Ned. I know y'all heard that action figure record. That joint with him and action figure is crazy.
Yep. That's another upcoming talent that, definitely getting his respect.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Another brother that, you know what I'm saying, knows his hip hop and, you know what I'm saying, basically has been studying this too. And it's like, it is dope too. Like he's not even, he's a dope MC and a dope producer too. You know,
Yep.
a lot of that going on too with a lot of the, producers are actually nice as MCs too. I'm like, what's going on? Shout out to Action Figure. Action Figure put me on the track with Spit Gems and Daniel. You know what I'm saying? Off the album that he put out. You know what I'm saying? Last year actually. You know what I mean? That was a dope joint and a fun joint. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So not only does Action Figure come on with the mask and spit for you, he got them dope beats too.
Yep. We were talking about that when I interviewed him too.
Nice. And out of the one, and I was happy, I was honored to do a joint with both of those two MCs too, because I respect both of them a lot. So when Action Figure hit me up and was like, "Yeah, I want you to jump on the joint with these cats," I was like, "Oh, word, damn!" I'm like, I'm a fan of these cats. You know what I'm saying? I'm a big fan of both of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And as far as coming MC too in Canada, Danielson been killing it. I mean, Spit Gem's been doing his thing. Body.
Yeah.
As far as like the new heads, Danielson been killing it. You know what I'm saying? I love his voice. I love what he's doing.
Delivery. Yep. Everything.
I'm so mad we ain't do a video for that song. We might have to spin the block on that action. You might have to spin the block on that song and do a video for it.
Let's get into the track. Relevant.
Yes, sir. New video out right now.
Mm-hmm.
One of the last tracks recorded for the album.
Tell us about how this track came to be, because I feel that you came with a more gritty version of yourself on this track, and it was relevant to
Yeah. I like it.
About.
I think it's. I'm gonna be honest with you. Every track that SI's finding, every track that I get, it's like you're giving me like a blank canvas. So any track that I get, I listen to the beat and I just feel like, all right, what should I say over this? Like, what is this track gonna portray? What is this track? So when he gave me the track for Relevant, it's like a dark, gritty, melodic, but still soulful. So I was like, you know what I mean? I was like, what am I gonna do over this? So I said, you know what? I want to get braggadocio on it, but at the same time, I want to get the listener into me and kind of into my journey a little bit as well. So that's what I just feel like I did on Relevant. You know what I'm saying? Like you know what I mean? It started off with my journey. It gets a little bit braggadocio, but it's still, I wanted to give you that gritty, that that like, you know what I'm saying? That real MC letting you know this is who he is. And a quick, like, if you could give, you know what I'm saying, 2 verses on just like, you know what I'm saying, to show the person who he is and to let it be known on the album really quick, that's what I wanted to do on that track. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like the video, shout out to Howard Urena, who shoots all my videos. You know what I'm saying? Well, he's been shooting the majority of my videos. He shot all the videos for this project here. I feel like he matched the energy perfectly. We matched the energy perfectly on that.
Definitely agree with that. Yep.
And we had to come to your territory too. You know what I mean? We had to go out to your hood, you know what I'm saying, to Shaolin and do it. You know what I mean? In front of like Ghostface building. Like, yo, dude, that was big for me. I never shot a video in Staten Island, you know what I'm saying? Ever.
Oh, okay.
It was like, you know what I mean? And I've chilled out in Staten Island many times. I've done shows out there, but I've never been to Stapleton like that. So to do a video at Stapleton, that was big for me. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? That was big for me. So I just felt like everything came full circle as far as the song, the video. It was like that song right there. If you haven't heard that song definitely, between that song and Urban Myth on the album, those two songs kind of really like show you like life. You know what I'm saying? Like who like if you want to know who Lifelong is, listen to those two tracks. You know what I'm saying? Definitely.
Definitely. One of my favorite tracks, and speaking on melodic, is Dealing with the Pressure.
Okay. Yeah, Dealing with the Pressure, man. I had to talk about my mom's on that one. I had to. Like you know what I mean? It was like the funny thing about it was when I heard that beat, I knew I wanted to do something deep on it, but I necessarily didn't want to collabo on that beat. Urban Myth, I wanted Lex, like that beat for Urban Myth that I did, I wanted Omega and Lex on it. So when I sent them both those beats, and Lex actually picked the track for Dealing with the Pressure. So I was like, oh shit, you picked this track? So it was like I already had in my head the vibe that I wanted to come on that beat, but I didn't know if they was gonna be on the same energy. But you know what I'm saying? Lex was like, nah, I love the jazzy shit. He was like, yo, I want the jazzy shit. And then when I told him the concept, everybody I felt was like just feeling the same way. You know what I mean? And we had to put Omega in there. Omega is one of my mentors. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much. You know what I mean? Omega like kind of like put me on to the whole underground, you know what I'm saying, scene back in the days. And I watched him coming up. I used to record demos in his basement. So the fact that I had him on the track was very big for me. You know what I'm saying? Because like that's the homie right there. And then Lex is the other homie. And then we all from Queens.
Yep.
But then the fact that we didn't do just some braggadocious shit or just like a regular posse cut, everybody was spitting on, you know what I'm saying, the concept of dealing with the pressure. So,
Yeah.
I mean, that was yeah, yeah.
Yep. And Lex, if you are tuning in or you get to listen to this, steady recovery, and it was good seeing you as well earlier this month.
Word. Seriously. Hopefully we'll see him tomorrow.
Yes, indeed. Hopefully.
Right. I don't want to cut us, but I ain't gonna hold you. I gotta give y'all some more work, y'all. I gotta give y'all some more work. So I do gotta kind of get back to putting some work in. But I got a couple more minutes with you.
All right, no doubt. What I was gonna say was,
thank you for having me on this platform. I actually I would love to even do this shit again because I have another project dropping on the 2nd.
Of course. I was gonna say 2 questions. I gotta give it to just 2 more questions.
No rush, but I I am in the lab though, so
I get that. Yep. The last track, the Art of Relevance.
Oh,
that was a perfect way to end off Still Relevant.
Aquarius shit. Shout out to my brother AQ. AQ is a brother from. dude, like he's cut from the same cloth as Omega. I think I met him through Omega. I met Aquarius, rest in peace, Pumpkinhead, Ocean from Natural Resources, maybe somebody else, like probably around the same time. So I've known him mad long, you know what I'm saying? And he's just a dope poet. And he's an MC as well, but he's just a dope poet and just a dope wordsmith. So when I thought about Still Relevant, and that was like an extra track, that was just an extra track that SI's Finest sent me. Okay. And I think when he sent me that track, I don't think that he thought I was going to do something with it. You know what I'm saying? So when I heard it, I was instantly thinking, yo, what am I going to do with this shit? Because I kind of wanted to write an actual song to it. But then I thought about it. I said, you know what? It would be dope to have a poet, like a spoken word vibe on it. And I reached out to my brother, Kerry Cheers, who I've known, like I said, for over 2 decades. And you know what I'm saying? I had to get him on here. And I was like, yo, can you write something just on just the art of relevance? And he came with that. He came with that, man. And he came with that, bro. So, like you said, I feel like that just summed up the album. It summed up the album. And it took away, like, I had to shut up for a minute. You know what I'm saying? Let somebody else kind of like take this out.
Mm-hmm. I've always felt there's something about spoken word or poet with underground hip hop that's always been a staple since the beginning.
Always. Well, you know what it is? It just goes hand in hand. Like if you think about spoken word, you think about the art of emceeing. It just goes hand in hand. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's just, you know what I mean? Like from the era that I'm cut from, I used to go to the New Eurekan Poets Cafe. So it would be like MCs and poets. So I would share the stages with MCs and poets. Like rest in peace to Mums the Schema. Mums the Schema like put me in one of his, you know what I mean, like poetry plays that he had with Saul Williams, Jessica Care Moore, Wood Harris. Before he was like, you know what I'm saying, doing the acting thing, he was a poet, like in New Eurekan Poets Cafe, doing poetry. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just cut from that cloth of poets and MCs. So I just, you know what I mean? I had to have a poet on this joint, man. I had to have somebody just break it down. And like you said, it's just significant, you know what I'm saying? And then when it comes to the hip hop and you have like a poet or a dope singer on your joint, it just has to make sense and it has to be, I feel like, soulful in the art. We going back to the jazz again. We got to bring it back to that jazz, and that spoken word is a part of that jazz too, man. You know, that's just the vibe I'm cut from, man. It's Renaissance music. Renaissance music. So you're gonna get spoken word, you're gonna get jazz, you're gonna get DJ scratches, you're gonna get vocal samples, you know what I'm saying, from some of our pioneers. That's why I had Grand Poobah on Down for Ours. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's just the cloth that I'm cut from, you know?
Jazz is always gonna be there. Definitely. And
always. In all levels.
Yeah. And the last thing before we go.
Yeah. My bad. I don't even watch you nothing like that.
I know.
It's a dope interview too, bro.
I get it. We also got to give a big shout out to Ches Rocker with the recording, mixing, and mastering.
Let me tell you something about Ches. Ches came through for me in a clutch. To all my fans and just to everybody that knows me, everybody knows that the main person that masters my records is Fred Ones, TME Studios, Fred Ones. Everything is done by Fred Ones. You know what I'm saying? From this like early career. If it wasn't Earl Blaze earlier, it was Fred Ones. You know what I'm saying? So I don't really trust a lot of people with mastering my stuff. You know what I'm saying? Don't. Except for Ned, because my brother Ned Schimmelfinney, he uses a different producer, a different engineer that I don't use, and our stuff has come out phenomenal. Shout out to Push Button. But Ches Rocker came through in the clutch. I've worked with Ches in the past, but he's never mixed or mastered a record for me. So when it was time to work on the SI's Finest project, Fred One wasn't in New York anymore. So it was like my studio wasn't there. So I was like, where am I going to go?
Yeah.
So I had already recorded a track with Omega and Lex prior, before me even working with Ches. So I already kind of knew Ches from the scene and stuff like that. So when I was thinking about, yo, where am I going to record this record at? And me personally, I'm not an MC that has my own studio equipment and stuff like that. Not because I can't have it. It's just because I am very nostalgic and I still like going to the studio. I like going to the producer's house. I like still having that, you know what I'm saying, vibe where I'm somewhere. I don't, like I ain't gonna hold you. I'm about to
in-person interaction
soon so I could just knock out more stuff. But I still like going places. I like being outside.
Right.
So I didn't know where I was gonna go. And then I thought about it. I said, you know what, let me give this dude Ches a call. And that's my brother. Like, you know what I'm saying? Since that recording of that album, everything has been recorded now at Ches's studio. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my brother Fred. You know what I mean? He's not in New York anymore, but he does have another studio out in Boston. So, you know what I mean? You'll see some work mastered by Fred. Hopefully I'll be able to get out there so I can record in his new studio. But Ches Rocker, man, Air Candy Studios, that's the new home. He made this album sound incredible. You know what I'm saying? My new album that I got coming out August 2nd, which is called In the Day of the Night, with producer Noam Chomsky from the Netherlands. I recorded the whole project there also. So like I have a very dope chemistry with Ches Rocker. He has a very good ear. And the sound is just incredible. Like you heard Still Relevant. You know what I mean? He mixed and mastered every track.
Dope. Sorry we didn't have enough time, even though it's a little late for me as well right now. But before we go, tomorrow at Secret Pour, the Cool Table Concert Series is going on once again. Let the people know.
It's gonna be lit. The Cool Table Concert Series, 1144 DeKalb Avenue, Secret Pour, Bushwick, Brooklyn. Pull up. It's gonna be dope. We got Bad Seed, you know what I'm saying, doing the Cool Table event with a lot of dope artists rocking. And then even if, you know what I'm saying, if you just spectate but you're an MC, we got a special open mic that's powered by one of the dopest producers I feel like come up right now, Murder Megs. Dope producer,
Yes,
female producer. He's gonna have all the beats for the open mic, so it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be a dope night for hip hop. We got a lot of artists, dope artists rocking, you know what I'm saying? That's all I can say. We do this the third Friday of every month. But come out tomorrow so you can really see what we doing.
Yes, indeed. And if you've been listening to those Bad Seed albums, you know Murder Megs.
Exactly. Get it, baby. Word.
Lifelong, I appreciate your time.
I appreciate your time, brother.
It's out there.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Go contact Lifelong.
Y'all see what he's showing? That ain't an MP3 stream or nothing. He got a tangible copy. Tangible. And I still got a few of those. So just DM me. Hit me up. I got you.
There you go. Before we go, let people know where they can contact you. And
you can contact me any third Friday of the month at Secret Pour with my clique, the Sessions crew, Poet Substratum, Cut Supreme, Respect the God, A Shit Off, Mario from Life Major Clothing. We outside now, but if you want to do the social media stuff, hit me up on Facebook, Life Liggy Long, the Real Life Long fan page. Life League Long on Instagram. The Real Life Long on Twitter. Just hit me up. You know what I'm saying? The music is streaming on all platforms, so you have no excuse. Anyone out there, I got 3 dope albums streaming right now on I mean, I have more albums, but I got Bat Out the Cave with Bunny Beats. I got Ginsu Blades with A Sharp. I got Still Relevant out right now with SI's Finest. So, you know, it's not hard to find me. Check me out. New album coming out August 2nd, streaming. Physical copies coming after with
Nice.
Noam Chomsky, produced from the Netherlands. Called
Oh.
In the Day.
There it is.
There it is.
Appreciate your time.
Yeah, I
And on behalf
appreciate
of our
your time.
HHDG media crew, indeed, we're going to say peace.
Peace, peace, peace. Peace to the people out there. Love, y'all.